Peace and power to you. Peace and power to you. Honor. Honors to you. I'm gonna make an effort to go through this particular document with you. After I go through the document with you, we're gonna go ahead and tell you how you can get this document so that you can be registered as a university. Once you're registered as a branch of Indy University, then we will begin issue you credit. We'll issue your lines of credit depending on what the deposit is for the account. Now, see this right here? This is an invoice. After we prepare your documents and we nationalize you into the Al Moroccan Empire under the Islamic Priest High Order, then you will receive from us specific information. That's what you're going to receive from us. This information records the lawful administration, and it also it bills anyone that injures your person or your estate. Let me go ahead and read it to you. This is Heart to Heart Estate and Trust, copywritten, trademarked, and registered from Genesis Bay, Blood Air. I have an invoice ID number, and the invoice is for the police department, and the due date for payment, 500,000 units. The due date is upon receipt, 72 hours, and they get a positive performance. You see, we have unlawful arrest. We have injury to registered diplomats of the Al Moroccan nation. We have injury to endangered species. That is what I am. I'm an endangered species on the global record. That means if they injure me, they could upset the ecosystem and the principalities of the bloodlines will not allow that to happen. So now you know that this is the reason why we can be protected globally. The unlawful arrest is for 50,000 units, Federal Reserve notes or credit or any other form of currency that particular foreign entity will exchange. Injury to registered diplomats of the Al Moroccan nation, 50,000 Federal Reserve notes. You see, you can charge these egg-leggers, these corporations, and once you charge them, and once one remedy is dispersed for injury, then the rest of the law enforcement departments, the de facto law enforcement departments, they will leave you alone. Injury to endangered species, 50,000 Federal Reserve notes. Theft of property, when they stole my ID, they stole my documentation from me, they acquired my property after theft of it. That is 50,000 Federal Reserve notes. Terror to U.S., that is both lowercase, UNS, and capital A. Non-combatant civilian in trust with global world powers, 50,000 Federal Reserve notes. Breach of international treaties, 250,000 Federal Reserve notes. The amount due, 500,000 units, also known as Federal Reserve notes. Now, let me explain something to you. For all the documentation that you pay for all the trusts that you have, for all of the promises made concerning remedy from the counterintelligence agents and the corrupt high priestesses and the ignorant and the unlearned. They will give you things that I give you. Documents, presentments, ways to go about receiving remedy. Yet they will never tell you the complete and total process. Because once free, you no longer need them. Well, it's not about a need. It's not about a want. It is about what we call symbiotic relationship. Now, what is a symbiotic relationship? That is one that is mutually beneficial to all parties. In symbiosis, this is how organisms mutually benefit one another so that there is balance in the energy exchange and one isn't taking more away from the other. The other principle of producing benefit is called the law of conservation. And what that is a law that when you conserve things to their, I'll say, goods and gifts to their maximum potential, then reception for more goods, because you're practicing the law of conservation, comes to you. We have one more principle from your shamanic high priest. It's called, the word is called comity. C-O-M-I-T-Y. It is the same form as symbiosis, except what we do is we add on a nation. So comity is nations existing in trust for the mutual benefit of one another. We'll go ahead and we'll shoot you a link to email us. When you email us for the documentation, you're going to Cash App us before we release the template to you. You're going to Cash App us 5 Federal Reserve notes. That is the cost of all documentation released from Indy University. Also, we do have a intellectual property rights. What this means is, in order to use, you can use any wording you want on anybody's document, so long as you attribute the source. You recognize the source of where that particular wording or contract came from. You are not allowed to use any file numbers that we give you for any reason, save for what the university prescribes. It is against the law. You will be arrested. We will send sheriffs to your door, and they will arrest you and liquidate your assets, which is something else that we do. We liquidate the assets of the parties who have not honored the remedy or the contract. Woo! Come on, baby. Peace and praise and power to you. See you on the next session.